What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top NFL rookies that could have a huge breakout year in the 2026 NFL season. As you know, there's a select group of rookies that come out and make a statement early in their careers as, really good starters right away as a rookie, or even hit that already superstar type of potential. I believe there's guys that can make an instant impact to their team right away. At number 10, I have Jets linebacker, the number 2 overall pick, David Bailey. Now, this might seem kind of low for a number 2 overall pick, but I think edge players can come in and make an instant impact, and I think David Bailey is that type of player. I think his floor is pretty high in terms of, I think you know what you're going to get immediately with David Bailey. So I'm very comfortable with this pick. Honestly, it could be a lot higher. I just kind of thought some other players could kind of elevate and on some better teams than what the Jets are probably going to be in 2026. At number 9, I have Josiah Trotter, the Missouri linebacker that got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second round. I think this guy is the best linebacker in this class. He is a guy I could see be the best linebacker in the NFL in the future. I think he has that type of potential. And I think his impact on day one will be noticed. I think people will be like, this guy in the second round is a steal of the draft. And a Buccaneers defense that is kind of up and down. Todd Bowles, a defensive-minded coach. I think Josiah Trotter really makes this defense even better. At number 8, I have Jeremy Bernard, the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver that they drafted in the second round. I'm excited about Bernard. I think Bernard could come in and make an instant impact for the Steelers team that struggles on offense for the past few years. Now, they have a new head coach in Mike McCarthy who's offensive-minded, friendly. So we'll see how they use Jeremy Bernard, but addition of DK Metcalf last year and then with Michael Pittman Jr. this year, I really do think Jeremy Bernard can slide into that third spot and really just do very well for this Pittsburgh Steelers team and bring instant production from that third spot because they really lacked that last season. They did not have the wide receiver production that they needed to be a really good offense. They were relying on a lot of tight ends. And I think the Steelers are kind of going away from that mindset with this new coaching staff. And I think Jeremy Bernard could be really good for them. At number 7, I have Arvell Reese, the Giants linebacker. I'm really interested to see how they use him. I think he's just a freak in nature that's going to make plays on the field, all over the field. But there is a concern to me that, maybe he doesn't have as big of a year because they're kind of figuring out where he does play in this defense. Now, I think his production could still be really good. I think he could find spots on the field. I think he will play a lot, obviously. But I just wonder how they're going to use him. That's my only reason why, because I think he has the potential to be the best defensive player in this draft. I think he has that type of ceiling. But we'll just see how they use him. I'm really curious about that part for the New York Giants. Mekhi Lemon is at my number 6 spot. I think Mekhi Lemon is an incredible talent. Could be the best receiver in this class when we look back at it in about 4-5 years. He could be one of the top guys in the league. I think he has that potential. Now with A.J. Brown probably out, getting traded, he's going to have to step up with Devontae Smith. And I think there's a great role for him to step into with Jalen Hurts as quarterback. He's going to have to get the ball, the offensive coordinator. He's got to get him involved in the offense. But I think this guy has incredible potential to have really good production year one and be a Super Bowl contender. Even without A.J. Brown, I think he could step up and have a massive year for this Eagles team. And I think they're betting on him to do that, honestly. At number 5, I have another Bucs player, another Bucs draft, and that should speak to you guys how I feel about this Buccaneers draft. I think they did an excellent job on defense especially, but Ruben Bain is at my number 5 spot. I think this guy is an interesting player. I think for a team that is, a playoff caliber team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, I think he could come in year one and give them really good production with Trotter and really make that defense have a bright future with Trotter and Bain. Like, I think they did an excellent job with that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we look at Ruben Bain and he has six or 7 sacks or 8 sacks, like high number of sacks for his rookie year and really good production. I would not be surprised at that at all. They got really good value for him where they picked, in my opinion. It'll be really interesting to see how he does his rookie year in Tampa Bay. The number 4 player I have on my list is another Ohio State Buckeye, Caleb Downs, the Cowboys safety that they drafted. Another great value pick. I thought this pick was excellent on draft night. I think Caleb Downs has the potential to be the best safety in the NFL in the future. I think the instant impact that he's going to give the Cowboys right away, just as a playmaker, a guy that does his job extremely well. I just think that his value is going to be very high immediately in a defense and a secondary that has struggled the past few years. This was a great pick. He's going to come in and do his thing. At number 3, I have Washington Commanders linebacker Sonny Styles. I think Sonny Styles is going to come in and do a tremendous job of just racking up tackles, just being a machine on that defensive side of the ball. I think the Commanders need a linebacker, a player like him that could be a playmaker, that could stop the run, that could do well in pass coverage. I think he brings all those intangibles with him. And with the Commanders, I think this is a year where they had a bad year last year, got a top pick, but they have to be much better this year. And I think he is a key piece for that defense to be as good as they were when they made the playoffs a few years ago. At number 2, I have Jeremiah Love from the Cardinals. I think this is a very interesting player for the 2026 season in terms of breakout status. I think it could be a hit where he has 1,000 yards rushing. I think the team is good enough around him where he could do that. Like, he's not getting put on the worst team possible. I mean, they're not very good, but you know what I mean. The roster, when you look at it, isn't the thing where you're like, dang, like, I don't know how he's going to really do anything at the running back position. I think there is some promise there, but I could also see where he kind of struggles if the offensive line is not playing well. But I think the offensive line can play well enough for him to have some good production, and I think he's just one of those talented players. I think at the running back position, he is just that good where he can make stuff happen. And the number 1 spot, I have Titans wide receiver Carnell Tate. I have Carnell Tate at number 1 because the Titans don't have any other receiver. He instantly comes in and probably is their number 1 receiver, you assume. And I think that's huge for a rookie wide receiver and a quarterback as talented as Cam Ward. You know, I look at this list, and when I was creating it, you know, Carnell Tate was the guy I was like, it makes the most sense for him to break out because Cam Ward is a quarterback that was the number 1 overall pick, very talented, but has no weapons in his first year. Now they give him Carnell Tate, who can be a guy that can make plays. I expect Cam Ward to throw him the ball a lot. So therefore, I think Carnell Tate has the biggest rookie year, and I think he breaks out in 2026. And I could be completely wrong about that, but when you don't have very many options to throw the football to, and you get one like Carnell Tate, I think it really does set up for a great future and a great season in 2026. Not in terms of team success, but just those two's connection. But yeah, this is a list. If your favorite player, if the player that your team drafted isn't on this list, doesn't mean that they're bad or that they can't break out. This is kind of just a projection. I'm probably going to be wrong on most of these. But before you click off the video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It does help the channel a ton. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.